For over 50 years, people have come to see the Sharks play. Talent, skill, speed, intelligence, elite-level athleticism. That's not these guys. Biased, one-eyed, opinionated, more often wrong than right. They make up for their complete lack of talent with pure dribble, gibberish, and enthusiasm. This is the ET Stand Podcast.
That's it, the music. Welcome to the ET Stand, the Cronulla Sharks fans podcast. We are live on location in Las Vegas, Nevada, the United States. Chris Kelly is sitting right here to my right. It has been an absolutely hectic couple of days, hasn't it, Chris?
Touching you.
Oh, goodness me. So this is a travel diary episode. Chris and I are live in Las Vegas. Can I just say before we go any further, anyone who's in Las Vegas who we've met, gone up to, spoken to, has approached us, goodness me, Chris, it has been overwhelming, the response and just how many buddies we seem to have with the roving mic. Goodness me. If you want to catch what we're up to, certainly go to the Instagram page and you can see my interview with Carl Stefanovic, which is approaching 10,000 views. Apparently he may profess love for the great Andrew Eddinghausen. And then on the Instagram, you can also see Andrew Eddinghausen's response. This is a delayed record. We're not live with comments because we're in the hotel rooms. We're not sure how good the Wi-Fi is going to be, but we are available on YouTube, audio only through Spotify, Apple Pods, Amazon Music, Chris?
Yeah, just not USA Spotify, apparently.
Yeah, USA Spotify seems to be a problem. I'm not sure why that doesn't work. But yes, we are the ET Stand podcast, the Sharks fan podcast it's talking to the football. Thank you to all of our sponsors and partners, they being Miranda Hotel, Morgan's at Cronulla, Solve Accounting, and of course, Southside Physiotherapy. And we have a new partner, don't we, Chris?
We do.
Yeah, we're not talking about them yet because we're going to do something fun with them tomorrow, but there's a surprise. There's some lucky Sharks fan out there somewhere or other. All right, this is the Travel Diaries episode. So Chris and I landed earlier this week. We're recording this on Friday.
Yes, Friday.
The game's tomorrow. God, aren't we getting that mixed up?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. We kick it off. Who's going to win on Saturday or Sunday? So Chris and I met up. We're just going to chronologically go through. So we're going through top 10.
Let's go. Yeah, we'll go chronological.
Chronological.
Because it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, so Chris and I met at Chris stayed overnight at the D. Of course, the D. Shout out to you, Damien Irvine. And what we man-hugged for 5 minutes, and we've made our way to Resorts World, which is where the team is staying. And so we're staying in a lovely two-bedroom, two-bed, not two-bedroom.
Oh, we wish.
Yeah, good. Chris and Oars.
It was a deep sleep. We had a big night.
Oh, goodness me, we could hardly walk. So we came under Resorts World, then we headed down to the FanFest?
Yeah, FanFest here at Resorts World, though, the NRL was hosting.
Yeah, so then we proceeded to basically catch up with a whole bunch of Sharks fans. So we first thought we grabbed Abdo and Peter Volandis and had a chat to them. God, they were impressive characters, weren't they?
Yeah, I love them. They were great.
Yeah, they were.
We spoke to Abdo about digital content like this, podcasting, independence. He was well behind it.
Yeah, he's a big supporter of ours, and then we tried to catch him out with saying why the Sharks were absolutely critical for the success of the NRL, which he kind of played along with.
Oh, we started with Buzz first.
Oh, yeah, we interviewed Buzz.
He sort of disappeared into the reels because he hasn't been as popular as everyone else.
Well, poor Buzz. He's pretty good, Buzz. He's very passionate Sharks fan when you get him just talking about the Sharks, and he also agreed to come on the podcast.
He did, yeah.
And then
hopefully ours over Kenty's.
Oh, yeah, Kenty's podcast is live, isn't it? Is anyone watching that? No. His logo's a bit weird.
Yeah, some sort of tree or something. I don't know.
Yes, mate, doesn't he know there's already a prominent tree logo in sports? The great Nottingham Forest Football Club. Oh, come on. And then, goodness me, Carl Stefanovic, wasn't he a sport? So Chris is sitting there with his camera. So Chris, talk us through this camera setup and how he just went about doing it.
Yeah, well, the great thing is Boldo's had a bit of equipment with us. So most people walk around with those little microphones. They sort of see and they can hold it in one finger and walk around and do that. It looks a bit weird. So we've actually set up this microphone with one of those inside it. My receiver is also attached to the phone, so I get the mobile phone record, and we just approach and walking around with a microphone and in Sharks gears, people just gravitate towards you and want to yell into it and talk. So as soon as you walk up and say, "Can we do an interview with who we are?" People they're happy to do it, and they want to promote what's going on this week in the NRL. So, Karl Stefanovic is very loose. He's having a loose weekend.
Oh, goodness.
He's the epitome of what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Unfortunately for him, it's all on camera, but he doesn't care.
No, it certainly doesn't. So if you want to check out that video, go check out the ET Stand Podcast Instagram page. It is going absolutely nuts. Chris Kelly is in his element loving this Instagram stuff. Has your phone run out of space?
It's run out of space, and I've charged it about 5 times a day at the moment, so it's tough going.
Oh, goodness me. So we interviewed Karl. Then we had this amazing moment with the line of the Sharks. So we met Sharks fans from the guy at the end of the line. The Cairns guy. I can't remember his name. He was Aaron. Was it Aaron?
Oh, no, it was Aaron, the first guy.
We met so many. And apologies if we don't remember anyone's name. You're all legends. We remember everyone by like face and like high-fiving.
Outfits.
What about those ladies that were down in Fremont Street later? Goodness me, they love to cuddle.
Well, the ladies in the fan line, they already had a big night, a big morning, I think. So.
Yeah. Nah, Nico's coming round for me. Oh, goodness. I can't do her voice justice. So good. So we did a funny. So Chris had the great inspiration of the Martin Brundle style.
From the Formula One.
From the Formula One. So we charged up and we absolutely stitched up the Warriors fans. Yeah, I'll cue down the music. Yeah, we stitched up the Warriors fans with the cue. That was so funny. And so the Warriors was up TV guys are like, no lies. There was a Warriors lineup at the.
There's clever editing and a little jab at the Warriors fans, but they had thousands there. There's
a lot of Warriors. You would say the Warriors are the most supported team. It was about 25% each.
Yeah, it's pretty even. I'm quite surprised that all teams are evenly represented. I thought there was going to be an imbalance, at least some towards, but no, it's good. Like a lot of Raiders fans. Surprising.
Now, Raiders fans, I did sing the Raiders song
many times.
We're bad and mean, we're the green machine. Then I don't know the next line. It's like, we treat them mean and then we keep them keen. I'm like, we're some sort of dating guy.
I think it's only their stadium song, is it? It's not actually their team song.
Oh, I don't know. So anyway, we met the Raiders. Oh, now this is important, actually. So the Raiders guy with the drum, he's had a bad time and been abused by Sharks fans in the past. So, gosh, Sharks fans,
I recall last season, I think he actually was involved in an assault after a Bulldogs match. So he's had a bit of a rough trot, the Raiders guy.
Yeah, that's been nice to the Raiders guy. Because,
he's passionate. He's got a drum.
He's going to lose.
He headbutted Boldo. It was pretty good.
Did he headbutt? Oh, he did headbutt me. He did headbutt me. And then I saw a guy from school. Shout out to you, David Abreu, and your 58,000 photos of Ricky Stewart. Goodness, you are a stalker, aren't you? And then literally we were trying to catch up.
Great
hair. And then we were trying to catch up with him later, but he's too busy taking a photo of Laurie Daly. It was very funny. But yeah, then we also saw a couple of friendly faces in the Sharks queue. We saw Pierre, who had a lovely message for one S Latino, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Oh God, I hope you don't see that, lads. You might get a bit grumpy. Oh goodness, it was just so good to see so many Sharks. And what I would, how to sum it up? Everyone's just in a good mood. You know, when you travel overseas and you meet an Australian guy wearing a Geelong jersey and you're like, hey, dude, you're Australian. Like, I'm from Sydney. And you just chat to people like that and everyone's in this positive mood. It's that, but like on steroids.
Yeah, it's like one of those events where I think this is what everyone sort of imagined what Magic Round or told me what Magic Round's like, is where they've got 16 teams and it's everyone just having a good time. That's what it's like, but in Vegas. And everyone just walking around minds blowing that there's that many Australians and rugby league fans because everyone just gets around in all the merchandise.
Oh, Chris is loving life with the merchandise.
Everyone's wearing all the merch.
Well, so Chris is here with his Las Vegas hat. For those on audio, Chris is, and funnily enough, I actually had one of those hats and had the option of getting it for him, and instead he spent $40.
US.
US. God, it's not cheap here. God, that's $17 for $10. That's just like brutal conversion.
It was $85 breakfast at Denny's.
Yeah, no, Denny's. Denny's is meant to be cheap. I'm like, oh. Yeah,
it hurts.
Yeah, just what about the $50 bloody fish and chips we were going to get? Yeah, that's a bad idea. We nixed that quickly. So then we were charging up and down the queue, met a whole bunch of other characters. I met the guy from the plane that was sitting next to me. He's like, oh, I didn't realize you were the podcast guy. And I'm like, yeah, Bullfed, I was trying to get you on to do an interview on the plane. So I had a good chat with him. That was funny. But everyone was just lovely. We had groups of people really traveled for. There was a London guy. I tell you, the most impressive one was the Morocco guy, the Panthers fan, who was
Yeah.
from Morocco, who had never been to a Panthers match, and he worked out it was easier to fly from.
I think I also met like not just fans of any of the teams, but expats that thought, I'm going to go and try and meet some more Australians. I haven't heard the Australian accent. And just then on the blackjack table, I was talking about my accent. That didn't help. But yeah, like a lot of expats sort of come over just to see how it was and the league fans. So that's what they're appealing to. And everyone we've spoken to as well, American wise, like guys on the street, people in the lifts, people that work here. They're all aware that it's going on because obviously it's just going nuts. There's jerseys everywhere. There's people everywhere. It's busy for them. So
people are asking us what it is.
Yeah.
So then we went upstairs because Chris had the bright idea that the players were going to come from upstairs and go around. He's like, "Oh, let's go here." So it was almost like we're like
little backdoor special.
So we just said, Chris, like, "Oh, this is going to work." And so then we see Dino Mezzatesta. I'll let Chris tell this story. He's chatting to.
He was chatting to Wayne Junior Pierce and his lovely wife. Boldo said, "Hello, Dino. Hello, Junior. Hello, Mrs. Junior." I don't think her name's Mrs. Junior, but she accepted it and went from there. She
accepted it and said hello, and they were very lovely and charming. And she's fit character, Wayne Pierce. He's advanced age. He and ET just look great.
Yeah, they haven't aged.
So then we went around and Dino got us in, and we interviewed the club doctor.
No, first.
First. First. Let's talk about the club doctor.
Okay, club doctor. He was a bit reluctant at first, but he didn't want to sort of be the face of it. But Bikram, he had a good chat to us and said all the boys are doing well and he's looking after them. And
mate, Bikram,
doctor.
Mate, you got an important job. I don't want to have many Southside physiotherapy episodes this season, talking through shoulder injuries and all this sort of stuff. But one thing I did pick up from that interview actually was I think Sione might have had the option to choose the surgery or not. And so I think with the shoulder, he might have been borderline and decided to take it.
I suppose it's one of those things you hear players do all the time to decide whether they're going to do, play a couple of weeks, needle it up every week and see how it goes. Sort of like what Nathan Cleary did, that sort of maybe a bit of time off here and there and then off-season surgery. But I think he just elected, let's just get it repaired and go from there. So a chance at the semis, you're saying in 5 or 6 months?
Yeah, 5 or 6 months. Now, you know who else we also met that we haven't actually even talked about, you and I together?
Who's that?
We met the guy from the show.
What show?
Remember that show?
No.
The Nerd Show.
What guy?
The guy, the Sharks fan, John Cena guy.
Oh, yeah.
We met him.
Yeah, we did too.
What was his name?
I don't know.
Remember we met him?
Yeah. What is his name?
I don't know. Can someone put in that in the comments? What's the name of the guy that was on that? What's the Nerd Show called? Beauty and the Geek. We met the Sharks fan guy from Beauty. Yeah, we met that guy.
Yeah, you love that guy.
I love that guy. John Cena and Sharks guy. Literally me. It is. We should have fanboyed on him. I loved him. We should have. Now, then we had the interesting moment. So then Dino went and grabbed ET for us. And look, ET is just incredibly generous with his time with us.
But the poor guy hasn't had a break the whole time.
Oh, God.
He just grabbed the most photos ever. He's more popular than anyone.
And because he's just a nice fellow, ET. Like, how can he not say yes to a photograph with people? Oh, and so it's like so many people going, "Oh, yeah, I've been supporting and watching you for so long." So we had a funny moment with ET before we even started the interview. And Chris captured this brilliant insight. Is we said to ET, Carl Stefanovic was talking about you on the ET step. And so then ET's like, "Oh, I'm not doing the interview with you until I watched it." So then ET and Dino are literally sitting there watching this interview of Carl Stefanovic. And then ET's sitting there going, "Oh, Carl's a bit of a bullhead, isn't he?"
He got stitched up by Carl Stefanovic. Carl's claiming that he was in the bedroom with ET the night before and had to kick him out. He's still very fast and take those he will. It was all the classic Carl Stefanovic.
It's very funny.
Innuendos, and
very
entendres.
Very, very funny. So then ET obviously responded. So if you want to see ET's measured and calculated and appropriate response, you can see that on the Instagram channel as well. And then we actually didn't get a photo with ET again because we never get a photo with ET because they're freaking dumb.
And the poor guy's seen us about 30 times since then, so he's over us.
Oh, he's so over us. I was like, "Oh, could you stop following us around?" So anyway, then the players were walking past and saying g'day to us. I think we might be a bit more over and known by the players now because they've seen us at a few different things. Certainly, Hamlin Ueli, if you smell what the Rock is cooking, gave us the people's eyebrow and did that later. Chatting to him about WrestleMania, and Tommy Hazelton was happy to chat.
And I'd have to say as well that I explained to a few fans downstairs who were waiting for the Sharks, and they were running behind. And obviously the fan fest, I don't think the NRL expected that many thousands of fans to come to the Resorts World, because I don't know if anyone knows Vegas. Have a look at the map. Most people stay down the other end of the strip. This is right at the top of the end. So they come here is a bit of a trek. So our team was part of their schedule. They did a training run, and then obviously had to come back and have something to eat, have a shower, and go downstairs. And they were running quite behind, and we sort of explained to a few fans that's what was going on. But bit of an insight into their schedule. It was pretty hectic.
Challenging schedule.
Yeah, and unfortunately, part of that, Nico and Brayley weren't able to get downstairs to the fan signing. So
yeah, because the Sharks were late turning up, and then they were required for something on Fox Legal with someone.
Yeah,
and then Dino, to his credit, look, he's there are a lot of people that waited a long time to meet the players. And sadly, the players have got great demands on them. And we all want to meet the players and get signatures and all that stuff. But we also want the players to be able to win for us in 2 days' time or 1 day's time for us. And so we got to be conscious that we can't put too many demands, especially on Brayley and Nico, who are our two players. And sadly, they weren't able to be at the fan session. And Dino identified that not only were they not there, but there were going to be a bunch of Sharks fans who weren't going to get through. And Dino just wasn't having it. Was he? He was like, nah. And then he went up to the security bods and he was just like, nah,
fill our line.
Yeah, fill our line up, fill it up, just go. And then he's rushing them through. And credit to him, he's you can tell his service industry background from his time with the casino and his it was pretty tough for him, to the lovely ladies who sadly really wanted to see Nico, and then they were giving me
cried at us.
They were crying.
We don't run anything.
This is hilarious. So these ladies are so nice. They were crying at us about not being able to see Nico, and then Dino just walks past, and then they just start tearing the Sharks a new one. I'm like, he's the CEO, and they're like, oh, and then they're like, and then you can see, oh, so funny. So
they set up a little special meet for him though. So
yeah, so shout out to them. So
but you got to remember as well, like that fan signing was scheduled for an hour for each team.
And they were half an hour late and they went an hour and a half over.
There was 5,000 fans for each team. They're trying to do signatures. And we weren't the only bullfeds there with a microphone. Like there was from Nine to KO to other influencers.
That random influencer chick.
To TikTokers to the young fella you spoke to that does Tom that does the TikToks.
TikTok Tom,
yeah, the young fella there. And like I said, KO, Channel 9, Danny Wilder, we had a little shout to him and he was enjoying it.
Oh, Danny Wilder. We gave Danny Wilder a bit of shtick.
Yeah, they got to do on stage.
James Graham was there. There's a lot of stuff going on. So
it was hectic.
So we were standing outside whilst the first of the Sharks fans managed to get in, and we just thought, oh, well, do you reckon we can get in here? And so we're like, bugger it, let's just walk in. And so we just walked in.
Power of the microphone.
So we're going to walk in. And then because we'd also been running around with the helmet. Oh, the helmet.
I've got the helmet.
Oh, I had my hands on the helmet. I could have stolen. So I was sitting there and they said, can I have a photo with the helmet? I'm like, oh, yeah, you can have a photo with the helmet. And then you could just see my mind ticking over, Chris. Do we just abandon all content creation and everything we're doing this weekend and steal the helmet?
It was shout out to Grant Truval, the photographer for the NRL and Sharks, local Shire guy. He had the helmet and handed it to us. He said, just give it back. And we went, maybe.
Oh, God.
It would have been a heavy carry on. We did meet a Warrington Wolves fan who got one custom made for himself.
Yeah, he did too.
And he was just getting the signatures himself. It was unbelievable.
How good would that helmet have been? But anyway, so then we're standing at the front. So then we managed to get inside the Sharks zone, and the Sharks fans were all lining up. And while the Sharks fans came out, Noakesy was good enough to give us an interview.
Yep. Spoke to him about the Esky. He made sure the Esky came over.
Yeah, the Esky was on the
got its own seat.
And I didn't realize the Esky's sponsored.
Sponsored, yeah.
Who sponsors the Esky? You don't know, do you?
He didn't actually tell us the name.
No, the guy writes to us who sponsors the Esky, right? And he's like, oh, hey, guys, I saw the video on with Noakesy and the Esky. I sponsor the Esky. And I'm like, all right, well, who are you? Like,
we're getting a lot of DMs.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Instagram's just flying off the handle.
Yeah, well, for our lovely partners out there, we're getting a lot of DMs, but not that type. Don't worry. Oh, you idiot. We're not cutting that out either. Love you, Nick. So anyway, so then we had Noakesy, and then we also did a piece. That was when we had the Widler piece, so we're giving Danny Widler a bit of a hard time. And then we just witnessed. Then we grabbed a photo with ET, chatted to him with a bit.
Finally got the photo.
Finally got the photo with ET. So that's
I think as a Raiders lady wanted a photo with ET.
Yeah, that's right.
So we had to
That's right.
redo the favor.
That's right. So we're like, oh, yeah, someone asked us to take a photograph, and then we're like, oh, bugger it, we're going to grab a photo with ET. So then we're chatting to ET, and I asked him, Andrew, obviously a lot of Sharks fans admire you and would love your signature. Why don't you sit on the panel as well? And I thought that was a good idea. And then he says, no, I'm not a player anymore. This is their time. It's not appropriate for me to sit on the panel. And that is the correct answer from him, don't you think, Chris?
Yeah, and you know, he's obviously over here wearing the Sharks gears and stuff like that. So he's not just trying to blend in. He's actually doing a bit of PR with them, but happy to get photos. We did tell him to go out and check the line and see how long it was. I don't think he actually went for that walk because
he would have been mobbed.
He wouldn't have come back.
He would have been mobbed.
He wouldn't have returned.
He would have been absolutely mobbed. Well, that would have been very funny. So then
we decided to do a walk through the line and just some quick little chats with the players and quick
Oh,
little comments
God.
along the line. So I'll do this bit. So obviously, first player, you can check out the video on Instagram. I didn't.
Can I
edit it.
just say that I looked over and said, oh, I think this is such and such, and I'm pretty sure that's Kalero, but I could see him.
No, we were waiting for a nice little shot with Hiroti in regards to a Lats comment or something like that. But anyway, we started our first Boldo going around. Just want to have a quick little chat to the players and sort of just skip through the line so we weren't holding any other fans up. Obviously started with Dan Atkinson. The video's on our Instagram. It's on our Facebook as well. It's pretty funny. Go and check it out. Telling Dan Atkinson he's broken everyone's hearts. He enjoyed that. Went to Tommy, telling him how many tries we want him to score. I whispered over the Boldo, asked him about a contract, and he says, congrats on your contract. I went, no, he's not signed. Oh, here we go.
Oh, God.
Anyway, next player he comes up to, obviously, Billy Burns. He did a bit of stick about having some nice guns on him, and all the boys loved that.
Jaden Beryl
was
going to take out Brayley.
To try and get some minutes on the field. And then the biggest one of all, he's come across to Hiroti and he goes, Kalero, the best looking player in the Sharks team. And we've all stopped except for Boldo. The whole team sat back and sort of taken a breath. The soul dropped out of Boldo. I could see it happen. He was like, what happened? And then he realized 3 seconds later, there was Mr. Hiroti.
It was Marwin Hiroti. And credit to you, Marwin Hiroti. You are freaking hilarious. Like, that was just, he's like, well, I'm not talking to you now. And then it's so funny, wasn't he?
So he just sort of went into his shell and, all right, we're going to move on. This is the next player. So, had a chat to Ronnie.
Well, then I got up to Niwa Peru, and I knew that it was Peru.
Yeah, you're a big fan of Peru as well. Like, you just sort of brushed him.
Well, I just,
you're good.
I was only 99.9% sure that it was Peru, and I didn't want to take the risk.
Yeah, it was a quick little handshake and move on. Skip your favorite player, Captain Cam.
Oh, yeah. I've talked to Cam a bit lately, so I figured
we didn't want to stop and talk to all the players and hold them up. Was the point?
He's got a firm handshake, Cam.
Yeah, so we kind of went along and talked to every couple of players.
Yeah, firm handshake, and then we talked to Tooks. Tooks wouldn't stand up to declare. He's big human.
You had to make sure that was Tooks as well.
Yeah, it was Tooks. I knew it was Tooks. Oh, shut up! I just
no. And then he went to
the
Ronnie.
reason why I got Hiroti wrong was because I looked from the distance and said, yeah, that's the lineup, and I didn't really see Hiroti properly. And I just saw the top of his head. And I said, oh, that's Hero, isn't it?
And you're under pressure. You're on time.
And I'm also a bullfed.
Yeah. It was great.
I'm also a boy. It's very funny. And then I fanboyed over Ronaldo, didn't I?
Oh, I don't think if people want to go back and watch the video, and I don't know if Boldo's watched it enough, there's a lot of touching going on. There's a lot of man touching. There's a lot of touching. Yeah. Poor Ronnie. He's going for his second shower after that.
Oh, Ronnie.
Got to let him know his highlight career is being top of the tiers.
Top of the tiers.
So I don't know if he's going to go check it out. And then we swung around to Big T, because we saw him just before he started the fan signing, and he was looking sharp after training.
Yeah, so what he said to Teague, I said, who are you going to target?
You're looking big. Who are you going to target against Penrith? And he said, everyone and all of them.
It's not mugging around that guy. All right, cool. Then we had Trindle.
Spoke to Trindle. He told him how he was the
basically I just told all of them
player of the year of the podcast.
And he was so proud of that.
Then we told Hero about the mistake on the other side of the table with Hiroti.
Hero was loving it.
And then a chat to Talakai. But he sort of skipped AFB. I thought you were going to chat to our marquee signing, the first chance we had.
Well, we don't have that much AFB content yet.
Well, that's why I thought you were going to take the opportunity.
As AFB, how I should have asked him, how are you going to take the inspiration of how successful Matthew Johns was with the Sharks as a high-profile signing? But yeah, I don't know. I just, you know what? I'm intimidated by AFB.
He's a big boy, but he's got more clubs than Tiger Woods, so
Yeah,
it's a bit hard. He's been here before.
Maybe he also just doesn't feel like one of us yet, like Nicker and Talakai and these guys. You feel like you know him.
Will Kennedy said hello.
Will Kennedy.
And then Talakai asked him the big question, the big podcast argument question.
Oh, Talakai, what position do you play and are you a centre?
He said all of them and everyone.
Yeah, then I was like, are you going to play fullback? He's like, well, no. We asked Euro that too. Where will Talakai play? And he said, I just play him anywhere.
Cheat code.
The cheat code.
And then I think that was about it. We finished with Nicara. We didn't get Ramian because he was being...
Ramian was off.
He was getting podcasts.
I said, don't worry, Franco. I told Nicker about you. I told him about you.
Yeah. We're glad Franco hasn't got socials because he's been hammered by a lot of female fans.
Oh, goodness me. Isn't Franco getting absolutely hammered? So this is hilarious. So every single female fan or anyone who knows Franco, we just ask them, who's your least favorite podcast host? So we line them up to say, oh, yeah, Franco. And so Franco gets just taunted. And because Franco doesn't have Instagram, he doesn't even see that he's getting taunted. So good.
So good. And then we had Ellie, our favorite Sharks cheerleader.
Oh, we did. We interviewed with Ellie from the
Mermaids.
Sponsored by Micro Mac. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Micro Mac parts?
Yeah.
Or is it Metropack? Oh, goodness. Oh, God. We are the worst at this stuff.
Sorry to all the sponsors out there.
Oh, goodness.
Boldo still has...
is it Micro Parts?
Yes. I don't know if it's Micro Parts. I wouldn't go with that. But asked her if she was LG, Pepsi, any of those things. He's not...
Someone put it in the comments and save me my embarrassment. Who sponsors them? Oh, go watch the video.
Yeah, it's had a lot of
Metromac.
Oh, you'll have it on your phone.
What? Is it Metromac? Is it Metromac?
Anyway, great sport. Gave Franco a serve and went from there. So
Merrimack?
Yeah, Merrimack.
Oh, God, we just suck. Sorry, Merrimack. I'll tell you what, we'll get Merrimack. We're going to give you a free episode.
Sharks cheerleader. You can just Google.
Oh, I'm not that good at Googling.
Himself.
Can you talk about something whilst I...
Yeah, so then obviously we realise how hard it is to be these kind of mobile influencers when you haven't got producers and it's just the two of you getting around with a phone and a microphone. So you had to come
Mind Spec.
Mind Spec.
Mind Spec. All right, there we go. The Mind Spec Mermaids. So, yep, how good were they?
Great.
She's like a legend.
She is, yeah. She was excited because they did a cross promotion with the Raiderettes for the Raiders from Las Vegas here. So
we're going to be some pretty good cheerleaders.
I've been in that dressing room. I was part of a stadium tour, but very impressive setup out there at Allegiant Stadium. So, and then we had a little refresh and went, let's go to...
Yeah, that was everything from that. We chatted to Dino at the end. Chatted to a few other fans.
I haven't uploaded the Dino.
Oh, we haven't uploaded Dino.
Better do that one too.
Sorry, Dino. We tried to get another exclusive from Dino too. We had a good chat with Dino's, I want to say daughters. Later.
Did we?
Yeah, they were like taking photos, and I said to them later at dinner when I saw them, "Oh, is it funny people coming up and talking to you?"
That was Volandis.
Yeah, we did that with Volandis too.
Volandis had his
Basically, anyone who's got kids.
Yeah.
Anyone who's got kids.
If anyone got a photo with Peter Volandis, he just handed the phone to his daughter, and she was.
And she's really good.
Yeah, she was. Great.
She's like doing angles and like doing the stuff, an appropriate height for like taking the photograph to Peter Volandis' daughter. Yeah. So then we went and refreshed up here. We were knackered by then, and then we decided that we would venture down to Fremont Street to see the fan zone.
Yeah, the fan zone.
And it was pumping by then, wasn't it? So. Do we have a nap up here, or do we just?
No, we just recharge the phones and
recharge the phones. Yeah, because we got a lot of gear and equipment. So then we charged down to Fremont Street, which cost us, $128 on an Uber, and
that we couldn't find.
Goodness me, she's a nice Uber driver.
Yeah. So Resorts World, if anyone doesn't know, has got about 3 hotels attached to it, and they've got all different sections. And if you have to go to the other side, it's like walking from Woolware to Cronulla. It's not short.
A fair distance. So then we landed at the entrance to this.
What we thought was the entrance.
What we thought was the entrance, and we can see there are tens of thousands of people in this Fremont Street thing. It is like
we were behind the stage,
packed.
Yeah,
right. And so we're sitting there, and we're like, all right, well, bugger it, we're going to try and go in. So in walks Boldo.
There's a big sign saying VIP,
VIP, media only. In we go. We're like, all right, yep, we're going in here, guys. And so then we're like, yeah, where are the Shark media? Like, oh, where are your passes? We're like, we don't have passes. We're with the team. We can just go up to them.
At one stage, you just say, they're back in our room.
Did I? Yeah, I was like Axel Foley stuff, just talking my way into I was like, what about my daughters? Monique and Unique.
Yeah. I know Serge. Just keep walking.
Serge. So anyway, then they found a way to.
It was a gentleman for the NRL. They went and got him.
Well, we're pretty.
Who was he?
I don't even know if he was a guy.
The girl at the gate said, "I'll go and get someone from the NRL to check," and then it went.
Someone. so then
you had to have a wristband, and we
had to have a wristband and a whole bunch of stuff. So then somehow the guy just says, "Oh yeah, bugger it! I've thought of a way.
Stay close to me.
Stay close to me." So it's like, whatever you do, not hold your microphone out. So then we're like walking through.
Pretty much anyone and everyone.
Anyone and anyone. They got like the Harvey Norman sponsorship boss who like sponsors the NRL. Paul Gallen.
Peter Parr.
Oh, goodness me. Pinocchio.
Vlandis, any CEO.
Eddie Housen. Carl Stefano. They're all in this like area. In this section. And we just get like walked straight through this section. And we're like, Gal. So we're like, oh, we do
across the front of the stage virtually. Across the
and then across the front of the red carpet, and then we go to this other area, and they position us there with the fan section. So that's how we're able to capture the great fan content. And I think that was a moment for me that struck was, hanging out with, my best mate Chris down in Fremont Street at, arguably his favorite players on earth, seeing the Cronulla Sharks coming out, and he's like, watch this on the top of the big screen. It's going to be blue Cronulla Sharks.
Yeah.
And it was a bit striking, that moment, really. It's a couple of photos. You and I haven't taken a lot of photos together on this trip, but we grabbed a couple then and there.
We had to ask the tall guy to move out of the way.
There's this tall guy standing in the way.
Always.
Yeah, it was like Peter Garrett, but he was like had a lot of hair. So anyway, then so they had
had a chat to Den and Kemp. Another good
podcast. Yeah, we did have a chat to Den and Kemp.
Bloke in a bar.
Yeah, bloke in a bar. Yeah, we did chat to him. He was a good guy.
Yeah.
And then we waited for the teams to come out. So we saw the English women's team come out. She's had a lot of support and the English fans. And then did you notice that Carl Stefanovic taunted the English fans the same way that the
I don't know.
That was weird.
I don't know if he's jet lagged or he just gets excited, but he just does weird things. So he got
What's
up on stage.
What's the name of the guy who taunted Djokovic?
It was Tim Webbs.
Not Tim Webster. Tim. Oh God. Anyway, basically, Carl did like a version of that.
Yeah, just mock the Wiggins fans.
Just mock the Wiggins
on stage. I don't know why. The MC brought Carl up. Probably
Carl just decided to get up
on stage. He wanted to sing "Viva Las Vegas." He then brought Vlandis up on stage, who didn't want to get up on stage and trying to get him to sing. Then he tried to get the crowd to sing "Viva Las Vegas," and that just sort of fell flat. And then it was kind of weird. It was just a gap filler. But yeah, the English girls team came up and they had a dance off. So they got one of their players. They played some songs when the girls came out. Check out any of the content the NRL's put out. It's unbelievable.
It's up there. God,
the chick went off. But then not to be outdone, the Gillaroos came out and said, well, the girls just laid down a dance challenge. Who we got? And one of the girls from the Gillaroos got up and put on this absolute burn of a performance. Was just
Ray Gun
world. Like,
eat your heart out.
Ray Gun's got nothing on it. She would have got points, this chick. Like, it was it was unbelievable.
Was amazing.
So it just pumped the crowd up. It fired them up.
And the crowd was pretty pumped for Panatani was up there too, wasn't she?
Yeah. And it was just, we were inside a gated area. And outside, you could feel the energy just smashing at us. It was just.
What about those Sharks fans that were like right behind us that were like singing up Cronulla and you interview? Oh, they were nuts.
But you got to remember, this is if anyone's been to one of those fan sort of days or a grand final launch or a season launch, it was one of them. But it's just, you got to remember, it's surrounded by casinos and alcohol. So you're throwing the Australians on holidays, alcohol, English fans, and it was just this energy was just a whole party atmosphere. And the Gillaroos actually, I think it was Kezi Apps actually said like she's never seen a crowd like this for the Gillaroos before. So it was just electric. We missed Canberra but they didn't really do a dance off. But they were looking.
We saw the end of them.
They were looking sharp in their retro jackets and retro hats. So they had some sports jackets.
We saw the guy with the drum, my mate with the hair.
Saw him and Mal Meninga up on stage.
Yeah, we did see Mal. I tell you, the US American host guy, you get these American hosts that try to do an Australian rugby league thing, and they're normally terrible. This guy was the opposite of that. He was really good. He was so funny.
He did a bit of homework. He was good.
He was really good. So then, then obviously waiting for the moment where the Cronulla Sharks are going to come in.
And we will upload this video because it was pretty cool.
Oh, it was, and they had to walk. It was for
100 meters.
Oh, they had to walk a long way. So when you watch the wrestling, Chris,
yeah,
and it's a normal Monday Night Raw,
and it's a short walk,
and it's a short walk, right? This was
like the outdoor stadium that time.
this is Rumble. This is Royal Rumble or at the baseball field or WrestleMania, right? Where they've got to like walk in
Play
like
the song twice.
they got to play the song twice to like get them in, and they got the drum dudes, and it was just freaking amped when the Sharks came in, and we could see like the distance that they were away from us. The curvature of the earth was almost an issue, and we could only just see the top of the Sharks flag, and it was, you know, the classic light blue dominated black, white, and blue flag. Goodness me, but boy, it was like freaking awesome to see them play. And then obviously they played up Cronulla, and Nico and the likes were just coming in. They were pretty pumped up.
Nico got held back for
Oh, that's right. Nico was held back.
So we missed him on the video because he was so long gone. But
Well, Nico was like, it's like the Battle Royal where every other person comes in, and then at the end they play Hulk Hogan's music,
we'll put
and
up
Hulk Hogan gets to come in on his own.
we'll put up a video when he got us filming and talking and high-fiving, and obviously pointed out to Hiroti, and he had a good laugh again.
Oh, that was hilarious. We're like, Hiroti, yeah. So we're like high-fiving because we were in such an area that was quite empty that, you know, it was easy for us to be noticed. And Hiroti was laughing with us. It was certainly fun having fun with the Sharks players.
So our nominated dance-off player then was Braden Trindle.
Braden Tricky Trindle. He's pretty good.
And put on some unbelievable moves. Go and check that out as well. I think we shared that on our story.
Yeah, that's everywhere. Tricky Trindle was good.
But then they asked him, where did he learn those moves? And he goes, actually from my cousin, Will Kennedy. And Will Kennedy got up and then did some unbelievable moves.
Will Kennedy was great too.
Ridiculous.
How good was Will Kennedy?
Yeah, it was just electric. So,
and then Hamlin Ueli had a go at the end.
Yeah, a little break dance, a
little
little ray gun spin.
Spin a Rooney.
Yeah, spin a Rooney.
One thing I'll say, so the Sharks were then interviewed and talked on stage, and I'll make a comparison. The Sharks looked more relaxed than the Panthers did. The Panthers looked a little edgy or on edge, but also more serious, I thought, was my big observation of the Sharks guys versus the Panthers. Chris, what do you agree with that?
Yeah, I even think back to like seeing the Raiders come out. Like the girls' teams were, like the English girls' team were just absolutely pumped to be on stage. Whereas, you know, our Australian girls are switched on and they know what the job's in front of them. Canberra looked a bit sort of, how you going? We missed the Wars, unfortunately. That would have been good. But yeah, look, our guys, I suppose if you're standing up on that stage, and you saw where we were like blown away where we were standing. Imagine standing up on that stage and seeing the whole Fremont crowd street.
So there's an awesome photo of the Sharks fans and you could see, God, I'm like I'm in this jersey. I tell you what, Sharks fans, this style of jersey stands out in crowds. It's like the one that I wear to WrestleMania. It always works. You can certainly see us in those crowds. Yeah. But then beyond that, then the Sharks left the stage. To much fanfare, and then the Panthers came in, and then really we were amongst it on Fremont Street, weren't we?
The currently injured Brian To'o got up, and he was the representative dance.
To'o danced, didn't he?
Even pulled in a backflip in there.
He was pretty good, To'o.
He was pretty good. He was amped and ready for.
And then he pretended as if he was injured.
He pretended he hurt his hamstring further, which would.
So To'o's injured, but he's over here.
You have to bring him over.
Why? Just in case he could play.
Just that PR stuff.
So we didn't bring Toby Rudolph.
Yeah.
That was a mistake?
Yeah, I think Toby would have been a great representative. Get around it and get amongst it.
He would have been out with 3 a.m. with us, Toby Rudolph.
That's fine.
Okay. So then, look, then the only way to describe the aftermath of...
You can't.
Well, it's for Australians, I would liken it to the closest thing I've experienced in my life to that Fremont Street after the fanfare was Gold Coast Cavill Avenue during schoolies, when you just know like 50 people along the street along the way. And so Chris and I just decided we would just walk the street a couple of times. And we met a whole bunch of different characters. We saw some Sharks fans that we haven't seen for a while, reconnected with some buddies, man hugs. God, we got cuddles and all sorts. We saw Truckee, which is legend Sharks fan Truckee. It was good to see you, mate. And then, just walking up and down. There's a whole bunch of videos from that. We've seen people again this morning. And then we had the disaster moment. And for those that know us well, there's popular and well-known Cronulla Sharks fan, Kieran Hayden, was on a streak at the blackjack table. He's doing so well. He's winning so much. And then Chris and I turned up to watch, and then...
Well, we got him with 3 hands in a row.
We got him, and then it just turned to dust, didn't it?
But all the players do, not just him.
Just womp womp. Womp womp. So then so we caught up with them and a whole bunch of other Sharks fans, played the horsies thing, and then a bit more carry on up and down Fremont Street, walking around.
It's probably a good description. It's like a schoolies. It's an indoor area, but it's also like a festival. So there was just
I danced with that big gorilla.
Yeah, rubbish and booze everywhere. You got buskers to 3-4 different stages, loud music to.
You got those people who offer you a photo for free and then want to charge you $20.
Yeah, US. The girls with the whips and the boys with the no shirts. It's just one of those places. Just a lot of people I've spoken to who haven't been there. A lot of guys got off the plane as well and straight to Fremont Street. That's just sensory overload because it's loud, wild. It's bright, it smells. There's rubbish everywhere. There's drunk people everywhere. There's fans everywhere. It's Burko.
Yep. So then we hung up there for a little bit, made our way, started making our way back towards where we're staying at Resorts World. We ran into some of the Sharks top brass when they were out at dinner, and they stopped us and said, "Oh, you guys are doing such a fun. Congratulations on the job." Yeah, Steve May stopped me.
And then poor ET saw us again.
We saw poor ET again. We're sorry, ET.
We're not following you. We're not following you.
And ET's just wrapped up his dinner, and there he sees us. We're like, "Don't worry, ET, we're not interviewing you for the pod." So then we saw ET as he was wrapping up his night. There's a lot of asks on these different Sharks dignitaries and different people. So it's a pretty hectic day. And then Chris and I, by the time we got back here, were absolutely exhausted. Goodness me, I could hardly walk this morning. My calves are so sore. But now we're back at it again. So we've been managing our content and getting all that uploaded for you guys so that you can follow us and see what we've got going on. We're having a terrific time doing this. This is just beyond.
It's hard keeping up with everything, but like I said, I've put the comments on there. If you find yourself, tag us, comment something, I'll fix it up, and that way you can share it. We're still trying to upload all the stuff we got, but we are going to a Sharks themed, well, not themed, a Sharks takeover bar today.
Yeah, we're going to the
Tilted Kilt in the Link Promenade. So if anyone knows where that is, it's been advertised on the Sharks in Vegas Facebook page.
So basically, we're going to go there by 6:30, and they will have had to have listened to a 40-minute podcast by the time we get there. To get there,
I think
there's 3 hours.
I think some of our other guys are going to like 3:30, 4 o'clock. So
Shanazi and those guys are going there now. So there's no chance anyone can hear this.
Sharks fans who walk in there, say you're a Sharks fan, you get a wristband, 2-for-1 drinks. I think 20% off food, but it's just going to be a lot of Sharks fans hanging out there. It's right in the middle of the Link Promenade. You can't miss it. There's a giant. Explain the Boldo. It's a miniature London Eye. So it's the Link. It's the big Link that you can ride onto. There's an In-N-Out Burger there. It's right between the Link Hotel, I suppose, because that makes sense. There's a little promenade there. So the Tilted Kilt, they're the ones looking after us and get there.
That's where we're going tonight. So we'll be there from later on. And then tomorrow we are on for the Cronulla Sharks versus it is a blockbuster game. Can't win premierships in round one.
Starts real early here too.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, you got the English team at 1:30 into the Raiders Wars, into the women's game, into our game.
4 rugby league matches.
8:30. So it starts off at about 12:30 and it won't finish till about 10:30.
The English game's good too.
Oh, that crowd would be nuts.
No, I guess
it's a long day. At least we can sit down.
Hopefully. Oh God.
But keep an eye. If you have watched this, if you have an opportunity, maybe you've just got home from shenanigans here in Vegas, or you're at home on a Saturday and you know people that are over here, try and let them know what this video is, and keep an eye on our socials for stuff we've got on tomorrow on game day. There is going to be some surprise things.
Yeah, come and say good day to us. If you're in Vegas and you see us, come and say good day.
Like we did this morning in the lift.
Oh, yeah, that was hilarious.
Boldo asked these 2 fans that are Sharks fans, yes, who's your favorite podcast? You guys are the ET podcast guys.
So funny.
So, yeah.
It's like, oh, you're the ET stand guys. Yeah, I thought it was you. Well, yeah,
Tough going.
Tough going. Good fun. We're having a great time over here. And I'll just shout out our other 3 mates, Latz, Franco, and Williams.
Yeah, you should
have come, lads.
We could have just fit in this room.
You should have come along. Like Franco, you got to come along because you don't even have social media, so no one would have known you were here.
You all could have called in sick.
And then lads, yeah. But anyway, boys, we are missing you. We're having a terrific time over here. Franco and some people will be live with a debrief post. Full time will be the next video that we do. And Chris and I are about to upload our season predictions video. We're going to do that right now. And then we're going to head down to the Tilted Kilt. So thank you to all of our partners. Thank you to you for listening. We hope we do a good job taking you along the journey of what it is like to be a Cronulla Sharks fan. We know that we're privileged and we get a whole bunch of benefits that no one else gets in this life. We're enormously lucky to have it. Thank you to the club for everything they've done for us and getting us in front of stuff. And guys, we will see you tomorrow for the Sharks hopefully beating the Penrith Panthers. Chris?
Up Cronulla.
All right, and we'll give you another travel diary of our. We'll combine the tonight with the match tomorrow as a travel diary.
Yeah, I don't know if Sunday is going to be any good. It might be a Sunday night.
You might get that one like in 3 weeks' time.
It is Vegas.
All right, that was the ET Stand podcast. For me, David Boldeman, and for my lovely, adorable co-host, Christopher Kelly. We will see you guys at the Tilted Kilt in a couple of hours. We'll see you at the Sharks match tomorrow versus the Panthers. Up Cronulla.
For over 50 years, people have come to see the Sharks play. Talent, skill, speed, intelligence, elite level athleticism. That's not these guys. Biased, one-eyed, opinionated, more often wrong than right. They make up for their complete lack of talent with pure dribble, gibberish, and enthusiasm. This is the ET Stand Podcast.